We move to the first of the 7. The budget estimate for Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, was 61,000 crores. We know, and I yesterday referred to it, even day before we spoke about it, a lot of workers are going back to their villages, and we've made provision so that they can also join in if they want to enroll in Manrega. So, government will now allocate an additional 40,000 crores. This way, we'll ensure that during the monsoon season, and since many of them have gone back to their villages, and if they enroll, they will get the jobs. So 40,000 crore of rupees is additionally given over and above the BE. All districts will have an infectious diseases block in their hospitals. All districts. Then lab in Delhi, we have a lot of path labs moving around and which facilitates people's lives. Lab networks in rural areas are not adequate. So public health labs will be set up at all block levels, not just in district, but block levels. We will have public health labs. PM E-Vidya program for multimode access to digital online education will be launched immediately, and this will consist of Diksha, which gives a one nation, one digital platform facility, and this is for school education. One earmarked TV channel for each class, from class 1 to 12. One earmarked TV channel per class, one channel will also be part of this. Then there will be extensive use of radio, community radio, and podcasts. So technology in a big way into education. Extensive use will be made of radio also. Special e-content for visually and hearing impaired children. And the top 100 universities will be permitted and will be automatically allowed to start online courses, online courses by 30th May 2020. I remember speaking about this particular aspect during the budget also. Debts related to COVID shall be excluded from default under the IBC. This is a change which we are going to make, that any debt which is incurred or indebted situation that comes up for companies because of coronavirus, they shall not be included in the category of default. Then no fresh insolvency procedures or proceedings will be initiated up to 1 year. A special insolvency framework will be notified under Section 240A of the IBC. One other thing which will benefit the MSMEs is the minimum threshold to initiate insolvency proceedings is now raised to 1 crore from 1 lakh, which will therefore insulate the MSMEs. So now what we are trying to do is decriminalize most of the sections in Companies Act where you have violations which are technical and procedural in nature. So we want to decriminalize all of them. Then compoundable offences where there are, they can now be tried under internal adjudicating mechanism, and this way, one, it becomes simpler, it can be sorted out at the local internal adjudicating mechanism route rather than go to the courts. So the Government of India will announce a new policy which will broadly categorize strategic sectors and the others. And the strategic sectors in which the PSE, public sector enterprises, will be present will be notified. In those notified sectors where PSE, public sector enterprises will be present, at least one public sector enterprise will be present. in those sectors which get notified as where you'll find the public sector enterprises, at least one public sector enterprise will be present, whilst private will also be allowed to play their role in it. However, in those sectors which get notified as strategic sectors in which public sector enterprises will be present, only 1, 2, 3 or 4 public sector enterprises will be present. In the sense, not more than 4 public sector enterprises will be there in that strategic sector notified for the presence of public sector enterprises. Yes, because chief ministers have written to the Prime Minister, finance ministers have written to me saying, please increase our borrowing limit. It is now 3% of your state's GSDP. We have now agreed to increase this to 5%. Because it's an unprecedented situation, we have acceded to the demand of the states and increased their borrowing ceiling from 3 to 5%. From 3 to 3.5, the additional, that 0.5% is unconditional. After that, up to 4.5, that 1% increase will be released in 4 tranches, and each one of those tranches will be linked to reforms which have to be taken with specified, measurable, feasible action. The next one, which is another 0.5, because I would have touched 4.5 with that, the last 0.5 will be given as soon as the milestones are achieved, not in all the 4, but at least in 3 of these conditions.